Can you speak up, Martha? Yeah.
Yes, let me introduce. For those who may not know, this is Martha Gallo, who has been a long-term resident of Battery Park City, a great supporter of all of our local organizations. She is the one resident member of the Battery Park City Board. She wanted to come here tonight. Actually, I'm going to get to a couple of moments on the agenda on a separate topic, but do you have a comment now, Martha?
Yeah, if there was no study done, I will tell you, that I'm aware of.
No, that's suspicious. No, that's.
Let her finish the comment.
Sorry, no, sorry, I
Maybe
didn't mean
speak
to.
louder.
No.
No study.
No study done.
There wasn't a study done of the, as far as I'm aware. However, what I'll tell you is that we got a practice of reviewing significant relationships on a periodic basis. And there has been a very large increase in the numbers of residents, the amount of traffic in the neighborhood, et cetera. And so we did decide to issue an RFP. HEP was able to respond to it like everyone else, because we wanted to see what we could learn about enhancing the security for the neighborhood. The residents, the commercial tenants, the schools, the tourists, et cetera. So as a board member, I was happy that we did this work, and we learned a lot. You can hear from these folks about some enhanced services that we can bring into the neighborhood and complement the tax. I will tell you, I've lived here for many years. Things right now with PEP are, on an up note. That has not always been the case. We all know that. It's great to hear that they've been here every month for the last year. I think that's wonderful. I'm hearing some great ideas about how the partnership with these folks could work. I'll continue to take those things into account when we're thinking about the contract negotiation. But I think it's a reasonable thing to think that for significant relationships, we would periodically review. I understand, by the way, and I'm going to need to leave soon, the frustration of the community with the authority. And what I will tell you, I'm just going to cut this short, Anthony, I'm out of Robert's Rules of Order.
That's fine. Happy to have you join us.
I think we have the most beautiful neighborhood in the world.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
we all have to just look at the results to appreciate that. And I'm also going to respond to Daniel Squadron, too. Battery Park City Authority has lived through many changes of leadership. It's lived through many crises. Most of us were there for the first World Trade Center incident. A lot of us were there for 9/11. We've been there since Sandy. And, we need to focus on the results. The process, when it comes to structured community input, needs improvement. We can't communicate with the community through the issuance of RFPs.
Yeah.
So I'm here tonight to say to you, we're going to start quarterly meetings, community meetings, with the Battery Park City Authority. The first one is scheduled for December 16th at 5 o'clock
Bravo.
at the River Terrace. It's a big space, so folks can attend. And I will be there along with, members of the authority staff. And I think we owe it to the community to talk about the things that we are working on and the things we plan to work on. One of the big topics Justine raised tonight, the number one topic on my mind is there's a major infrastructure study that the Battery Park City Authority Board has funded to look at the infrastructure of the neighborhood, and resiliency is one of the most important topics. The city has left us out of every funding discussion on the Big U, assuming somehow we're going to get some room from the agreement we have to turn over our excess revenues to help with affordable housing and NYCHA in the city to do this work. Just the last point I'll make, and I'm sorry I have to head out, but I'm happy to come and talk more frequently, is that it's interesting for Daniel to point to the Governor's Island structure or the Brooklyn Park. Those are new structures. I will tell you, I was on the Governor's Island board when we were working with the city and the state. I've looked at the funding model for the Brooklyn Bridge Park. That's a 4-year situation. That funding model is questionable. It's under review. In Battery Park City, we have built a neighborhood that has endured 35 years plus with a sustainable funding model. And I really hope we can improve the dialogue between the authority and the neighborhood. I do not want to put that construct at risk. It's a silly conversation to be talking about, do you want the mayor who's a block away, or you want the governor up and, whatever. What I want is the structure of the authority, and I want a more active dialogue with the community. That's what I want. So I'm going to have to leave because I've got some personal things going on.
Well, first, we appreciate you coming down. There's an open door to have you at any of our meetings. But hopefully you've also gotten the sense tonight that we all love our neighborhood. We all believe it has endured. It needs to endure. But the frustration is we see outside the process.
Yeah, and I
And so
appreciate
people
that.
will react in various ways. Some may be positive and some may not be. And before we do something, we need to have a dialogue. The residents who have made this since September 11, a family community, needs to be engaged. And right now, there's a wall between us.
Well, I think that Martha's announcement, and that's
Absolutely.
something that the senior management,
That is
the
very,
authority,
very,
the
very
board
positive.
have come together to support. I think will be a new
It's a
beat
step.
and a beginning.
Look, it's
Martha,
a step.
what about relooking at this contract?
I don't think, look, the RFP was issued. We've selected a partner. We've heard plenty of good input tonight. And as you have heard, we're looking for a construct that extends the security force of the neighborhood. And, I don't want to get into the pluses and minuses of the PEP relationship here. I don't think it's appropriate, and I don't think it would be well received. But I think over the long term, we'll feel better. That's my goal, and that's the board's goal. I know that, and I know that's your goal about the overall security and quality of life in the neighborhood. That's our goal, right? We have to remember, we're a gem in a beautiful part of the city, and we are going to have millions of people making their way through this neighborhood. And this is a first step to try to, wrap our arms around the neighborhood in a more extended way, given those new volumes. And I think then we have to have a way of interacting with the community and, kick the tires of whatever model we end up putting in place. Because I don't even know, looking at, because I live here, this is my permanent residence. I don't even know that given the volumes I've started to see, that what we're talking about is going to be sufficient. I'm interested to see what construct comes up during this contract negotiation, and I've got an open mind about it. But it's been helpful to hear some of this input tonight. I'm sure you guys got some helpful input.
Martha, one comment. The idea of the town hall, the town meeting is wonderful. Push it back from 5 p.m. to 6. Give more people time to get there.
Why don't we start to restructure the relationship by kind of extending the date of the signing of the contract? We're starting,
right.
we're just
We
the first
make all
step
the
of good
contracts.
faith.
Yeah, you know what, I think that's a great suggestion, and given all I've heard tonight, I'm not sure that we're ready to sign it in the next couple of years.
The people are visiting Battery Park because the safe community, and
Thank you,
that's
Martha.
thanks to the PEP offices. People want to visit Battery Park because it's safe, and we have the PEP offices to be thankful for that.
I'm gonna move
We have a
on.
lot of reasons that Battery Park City is safe. The PEP officers are one of them.
Right.
Martha, thank you. We'll see you again. I hope we'll see you on
Sorry,
December
guys, and I have to
16th.
leave, but this is kind of
Okay.
scheduled.
We have a couple more questions, and then we're going to try and wrap this up. Joe Puglia.
Okay, my question to the security firm is, what type of background checks do you give to these individuals